I'll name a few essential understandings for the practice of NVC and reactivity. And one is to understand that reactivity is really a habit that was originally developed to help you meet a need. And so it's sort of a tragic strategy. And so that immediately gives us a choice to say, okay, if I know this reactivity is trying to take care of this need, then I can immediately focus on the need and say, well, what other ways could I take care of that need right now? And so I really teach my students to identify the different types of reactivity that come up for them, because they're very specific and distinct patterns, right? Depending on the situation and the stimulus. And then to memorize what need is behind that pattern, so that eventually when the pattern arises, they can do mindfulness and say, oh, this is reactivity. Oh, let me take a breath and name, oh, I know I'm reactive because I'm starting to raise my voice and I feel this tension in my jaw and I'm having these kinds of thoughts. Oh, hi, reactivity, I recognize you. Right? To get that mindfulness on board, get that frontal lobe on board by narrating the reactivity. And then if they have the need memorized, then once they're regulated, they can go right to the need and say, oh, I know this is about respect. I see NDC as adding the place to go once we have the capacity to recognize reactivity and regulate our emotions and our physiology. It gives us a place to go, which is universal needs. And the other things, I actually teach mindful compassionate dialogue, which combines NVC with mindfulness and body-centered therapies. So it's more from the mindfulness and body-centered therapies that I'm pulling all the skills to recognize and regulate that reactivity. And then once that happens, now we really need NVC to know where to go next. And that's to our universal need and then our specific and doable action or request, caring for that need in some way. I think this course is going to benefit most people who see that reactivity keeps them from living the life they want. They've taken that step, right? Like, oh, there is such a thing as reactivity, and it's an obstacle for me living in integrity or enjoying my life or enjoying my relationships in the way my heart knows is possible. Because now they have the motivation, they have a clarity of vision, and their whole being is ready for the next step, which is what we'll do in this series. Like, now that you see it, what can you do? And that's what we'll answer. And what's the practice that you take with you?